Mia, Leo, and Raj were best friends. They loved adventures. Every weekend, they would set out on a new quest, whether it was exploring the nearby woods or searching for hidden treasures in their neighborhood. One hot summer day, they decided to explore their school's dusty old attic. They had heard rumors about it being haunted, but that only made it more exciting. Cobwebs hung from every corner, making the place look like it hadn't been touched in years. Trunks lay forgotten, filled with who knows what. The air was thick with dust, and every step they took echoed in the silence.
"Look at that!" Raj exclaimed, his voice breaking the eerie quiet.
Raj pointed his flashlight at a peculiar wooden chest tucked under a faded tapestry. It looked out of place, almost as if it was waiting for them. It was ornately carved with strange symbols that none of them recognized. The craftsmanship was exquisite, hinting at a long-forgotten era.
"Wow, what is that?" Leo asked, his voice filled with awe.
Leo whispered, his eyes wide with curiosity. He had always been the most inquisitive of the group, always wanting to know more. Mia carefully lifted the heavy lid, her heart pounding with anticipation. What could be inside this mysterious chest? Inside, nestled on a bed of faded velvet, lay a gleaming silver amulet. It looked ancient, yet it shone as if it had just been polished. It pulsed with a soft inner light, casting a gentle glow around the attic. As Mia reached for the amulet, the attic began to spin. It felt like the whole world was turning upside down. The floor seemed to disappear beneath their feet, and they felt themselves falling through a void. When the swirling stopped, they found themselves in a dense, unfamiliar jungle. The air was filled with the sounds of exotic birds and rustling leaves.
"Whoa, where are we?" Raj asked, his voice tinged with both fear and excitement.
Mia held up the amulet, its glow now even brighter than before. It glowed brighter, illuminating strange plants with thick vines and giant leaves unlike anything she had ever seen. The plants seemed almost otherworldly. The air was thick and humid, making it hard to breathe. It was a stark contrast to the dry, dusty attic they had just been in. A terrifying roar echoed through the jungle, sending chills down their spines. It sounded like something out of a prehistoric era.
"I think," Mia began, her voice trembling. "I think we've traveled in time," she finished, her eyes wide with realization. The adventure they had always dreamed of was just beginning.
A gigantic dinosaur stomped toward them, its massive jaws agape, revealing rows of razor-sharp teeth. The air was filled with the sound of its growls, echoing through the dense jungle. Its thunderous steps shook the ground, sending vibrations through the earth and causing leaves to tremble.
"What do we do?" Panic was setting in as they realized the danger they were in.
Mia's eyes darted around, searching for a way out. Her heart pounded as she scanned the dense foliage for any sign of safety. She spotted a clearing up ahead, a glimmer of hope in the otherwise perilous situation.
"There! Run!" she shouted, her voice filled with urgency.
They sprinted towards the clearing, the dinosaur hot on their heels, its roars growing louder with each step. Mia noticed a pile of logs and vines, remnants of an old campsite perhaps, and an idea began to form in her mind.
"We can build a catapult!" she exclaimed, her eyes lighting up with determination.
Remembering a history lesson about ancient tools, she quickly explained her idea to the group, her voice steady despite the chaos. Working together, they rolled a massive log onto a sturdy branch, creating a giant lever. Sweat dripped down their faces as they hurried. They piled rocks onto the shorter end of the log, their hands moving quickly but carefully.
"Raj, when I say now, pull that vine," Mia instructed, her voice firm.
Mia instructed, pointing to a thick vine tied to the longer end of the log. The tension was palpable. The dinosaur was getting closer, its eyes fixed on them, its breath hot and heavy.
"Now!" she yelled, her voice cutting through the air.
Raj pulled the vine with all his might, his muscles straining with the effort. The rocks flew through the air and landed with a loud boom! The sound echoed through the jungle, in front of the dinosaur. Startled by the sudden noise and flying rocks, the dinosaur veered away into the jungle, its roars fading into the distance. They were safe. The group collapsed in relief, their hearts still racing from the close encounter. Exhausted but exhilarated, the friends examined the amulet, their eyes wide with wonder and curiosity. They had never seen anything like it before. Its symbols seemed to swirl and shift, almost as if they were alive, telling a story that was waiting to be discovered. It glowed again, and this time they were transported to a hot, sandy desert. The heat was intense and the sun blazed down on them. Towering pyramids loomed in the distance, their massive structures casting long shadows on the golden sands.
Ancient Egypt, the kids exclaimed in unison, their excitement palpable.
Leo exclaimed, recognizing the majestic structures from his history books. He had always been fascinated by the mysteries of ancient civilizations. They saw villagers struggling to lift a giant stone block, sweat dripping from their brows. The effort was immense, and the task seemed almost impossible. The block was meant for the top of a pyramid under construction, a crucial piece in the grand design.
We have to help them. The determination in their voices was clear.
Mia said, her heart filled with compassion. She couldn't stand by and watch them struggle. Remembering a science lesson about simple machines, Mia grabbed a rope. She knew exactly what to do.
Let's make a pulley, she shouted, her voice filled with excitement and urgency.
They found a sturdy wooden wheel from a nearby cart, a perfect tool for their plan, and hung it from a strong beam, securing it tightly to ensure it could bear the weight. They threaded the rope through the wheel and tied one end to the stone block, making sure the knots were secure. The villagers pulled on the other end, amazed as the heavy block rose more easily with each pull. The pulley system was working perfectly. The villagers cheered, grateful for the children's ingenuity. Their faces lit up with smiles and they thanked the kids for their help. The kids smiled back, feeling a sense of accomplishment and pride. They had made a real difference. The amulet pulsed again, transporting them to a dusty town. Horses and wagons lined the dirt road. A sign read, "Welcome to Dusty Gulch, Wild West."
Howdy, youngsters. We're in dire need of water. The creeks run dry.
Mia noticed a nearby well.
We can build an irrigation system.
They gathered wood and cloth to create a large bucket. Using the well's crank, they filled it with water. Next, they found old wooden wheels and planks to build a simple aqueduct.
This will carry the water from the well to the fields.
Leo explained to the amazed townspeople. Soon, water flowed through their makeshift canals, nourishing the thirsty crops. The townspeople cheered, relieved and thankful for the children's resourcefulness. The amulet shimmered, whisking them away to a city unlike anything they had ever seen. Gleaming towers touched the sky. Flying vehicles zoomed past.
This must be the future.
Raj exclaimed, his eyes wide with awe. They noticed people walking by, their faces glued to their devices, ignoring each other.
Something's not right. Everyone seems so disconnected.
They decided to organize a community day to bring people together. They convinced a group of children to help them create colorful banners and posters.
Let's have music, games, and food.
News of Community Day spread through the city. People were drawn out of their isolation by the children's enthusiasm. Soon the park was filled with laughter, music, and the aroma of shared food. People who had never spoken before found themselves laughing and talking.
We forgot how to connect with each other.
A woman admitted. Thank you for reminding us. The children realized that even in a technologically advanced future, human connection was vital. As the sun began to set, the amulet glowed, signaling their return. Holding it tight, they closed their eyes. They found themselves back in the dusty attic, the setting sun casting long shadows through the grimy windows. The adventure felt like a dream.
Did we imagine all that?
Raj wondered aloud. Mia held up the amulet. It no longer glowed but felt warm in her hand. They knew they hadn't imagined their journey. They had brought back something more valuable than any souvenir.
We learned that people everywhere need the same things: food, water, and friendship.
Leo nodded in agreement.
And no matter what time period you're in, a little teamwork and ingenuity can solve almost any problem.
We helped dinosaurs, pharaohs, and cowboys. Who knew history could be so much fun?
It wasn't just about the inventions. It was about helping others.
Raj smiled, remembering their wild adventures. Mia gazed at the amulet, realizing that compassion and kindness were timeless virtues. From the terrified villagers in ancient Egypt to the parched settlers in the Wild West, each challenge had ignited their empathy. They had used their knowledge and ingenuity to make a difference, proving that even kids could be heroes. The attic, once a place of forgotten things, now felt different. It held the echo of their laughter, the memory of their courage, and the weight of their newfound wisdom. They knew that they could use their experiences to make their own time a better place.
We can't travel through time anymore, but we can still make a difference here and now.
Filled with newfound purpose, the friends left the attic, the setting sun casting long shadows as they carried the lessons of history and the spirit of adventure in their hearts. They vowed to be more aware of the needs of others, to stand up for what was right, and to never stop using their imaginations to solve problems. They had learned that history wasn't just dates and facts in a textbook. It was about real people facing real challenges, just like them. As they prepared to leave the attic, the amulet in Mia's hand emitted a final, faint pulse of light. It was as if it was saying goodbye, its purpose fulfilled.
Thank you.
Mia whispered, clutching the amulet tightly. She knew they would never forget their journey through time. They had grown braver, kinder, and more resourceful. They had faced their fears, embraced the unknown, and learned the true meaning of teamwork. Leaving the attic, they carefully closed the old wooden chest. The silver amulet nestled safely inside. They knew that the real magic wasn't in the amulet itself, but in the lessons they had learned and the friendships they had forged. As they stepped out into the warm evening air, they knew that their greatest adventure was just beginning. They were no longer just Mia, Leo, and Raj. They were time travelers, forever changed by their extraordinary journey. The world was full of possibilities, and they were ready to face them together.